Las Vegas is the brightest city on Earth. 4 miles of neon, 40 million visitors a year, and an economy built entirely on the idea that this is the most exciting place you could possibly be. But the city has a second version of itself that most visitors never see, and most residents don't talk about. There is a network of tunnels running directly beneath the Strip, where hundreds of people live in permanent darkness. There is a stretch of desert an hour north, where the United States detonated nearly 1,000 nuclear weapons over 4 decades. And there is a lake on the edge of town that has been slowly revealing things the desert was never supposed to give back. These are the darkest secrets about Las Vegas. Beneath the Las Vegas Strip, there are over 200 miles of flood tunnels. They were built in the 1990s after flash floods caused massive damage to the valley. The tunnels are concrete, unlit, and just tall enough to stand in. When it rains, water rushes through them at high speed. When it doesn't rain, they're dry. And they're inhabited. Journalists and outreach workers who have entered the tunnels over the past 2 decades have documented hundreds of people living inside them. Some have built structures out of salvaged furniture and tarps. Some have working electricity tapped from nearby junction boxes. Some have been underground for years. The tunnels run directly beneath the casinos, which means there are people sleeping in concrete corridors while billions of dollars change hands on the floor above them. When flash floods hit, the water rises in minutes, and anyone still inside has to run in total darkness toward the nearest exit. Not everyone makes it. The tunnels are one of the starkest images in modern America, a city that spends more on lighting than most countries spend on infrastructure, sitting directly on top of people who live without any light at all. 65 miles northwest of the Strip is the Nevada test site, where the United States government conducted over 900 nuclear tests between 1951 and 1992. For the first decade, many of those tests were above ground. The explosions were so close and so large that mushroom clouds were visible from downtown Las Vegas. Instead of evacuating, the city leaned into it. Hotels advertised rooms with views of the blasts. Casinos hosted atomic-themed parties. The Chamber of Commerce published calendars listing upcoming detonation schedules so tourists could plan their trips around them. The clouds were beautiful from a distance. What wasn't visible was the fallout. Radioactive material drifted across communities downwind of the test site, particularly in rural Utah and Nevada. Residents in those areas, later called downwinders, reported elevated rates of illness over the following decades. The federal government eventually acknowledged the harm and passed the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act, but the full scope of the contamination has been debated ever since. Las Vegas made the end of the world into a tourist attraction, and for over a decade, people paid to watch. Las Vegas was built by organized crime, and that isn't folklore. Bugsy Siegel opened the Flamingo Hotel in 1946 with mob financing. For the next 3 decades, nearly every major casino on the Strip had connections to crime families from Chicago, Kansas City, Milwaukee, and New York. Money was skimmed directly from counting rooms. Operations were controlled through front companies. And the desert surrounding Las Vegas served a very specific purpose. It was vast, empty, and no one was looking. Over the decades, individuals connected to casino operations disappeared into the desert and were never seen again. Construction projects in the surrounding area have occasionally uncovered remains in locations that were never marked. The phrase "buried in the desert" became part of American vocabulary for a reason. Las Vegas sits at the edge of one of the largest and most empty landscapes in the country. And for decades, people used that emptiness for exactly what you think they used it for. Lake Mead is the largest reservoir in the United States, created by the Hoover Dam in the 1930s. It supplies water to Las Vegas, Arizona, and Southern California. Since 2000, water levels in Lake Mead have been dropping steadily due to drought and overuse. And as the water recedes, things have been appearing. Since 2022, multiple sets of human remains have surfaced along the shrinking shoreline. One set was found inside a barrel that had been submerged for decades. Another was discovered by hikers near a newly exposed section of lake bed. Investigators have connected some of the remains to cases dating back to the 1970s and 1980s. The lake is still dropping. Every few months, another discovery is made. Lake Mead is functioning as a kind of slow-motion time capsule, gradually returning things that were put there specifically because no one expected the water to ever go down. The Luxor Hotel is a 30-floor black glass pyramid on the south end of the Strip. When it opened in 1993, it was one of the most ambitious buildings in Las Vegas. It was also one of the most troubled. The building's interior is a massive open atrium, and the design of the pyramid created unusual air currents that made certain floors unpredictable. Multiple guests have fallen from the upper walkways over the years, and the hotel has been the subject of persistent rumors about unreported incidents within the building. Workers and guests have reported unexplained sounds, malfunctioning electronics, and a general unease on certain floors. The Luxor has been partially redesigned since opening, with some of its original Egyptian theming removed and several floors reconfigured. Whether the building is genuinely troubled or simply unlucky, its reputation within Las Vegas is well established. Locals refer to it differently than tourists do. Before Las Vegas existed, the valley belonged to the southern Paiute people. For thousands of years, they lived beside the natural springs that gave the area its name. Las Vegas means the meadows in Spanish, and those meadows existed because of artesian springs fed by underground water. The springs were sacred to the Paiute and supported the only significant plant and animal life for miles in every direction. When settlers arrived, they diverted the water. When the city grew, it paved over the springs entirely. Today, the original water sources that made Las Vegas possible are buried beneath parking lots and casino foundations. The meadows are gone. The springs are sealed. The city that calls itself the entertainment capital of the world is standing on top of the thing it destroyed in order to exist. And most of the 40 million people who visit each year have no idea there was ever anything green here at all. Las Vegas was designed to make you forget where you are. No clocks, no windows, no sense of time. But underneath the lights and the noise, this city sits on top of tunnels full of people, a desert full of history, and a lake that keeps giving back what it was given. Subscribe if you want to see the darkest secrets about another city explained next. And tell me in the comments which part of Vegas disturbed you the most. I'll see you in that video.